Welcome back. If you guys are new around here, my name is Jake Rich. I am an Australian filmmaker and content creator helping you create better content online. Now in today's video, we're gonna be talking about brand deals. So if you do have some branded content and you wanna make some epic content for brands, this video will run you through my process. I know this can be daunting, but some of the strategies and tips that I'm gonna share with you today will solve that problem. So let's get stuck into it. Step number one is to understand the brand which you are going to be working with. Now in today's video, for full transparency, we're going to be shooting 3 short form videos for the e-bike company Engwe. Now, Engwe have gifted me the e-bike to create these videos. However, they do not own or license any of the content. So if you do have questions about the product itself, feel free to drop me a comment because I will give you my honest opinion. Today, I want to focus really on the production side of things, on shooting the content and creating this concept, stories, ideas. And to do that, we always begin with a program, or I like to begin with a program called Milanote. So Milanote is a web-based visual collaboration tool designed for creative professionals and teams. This is definitely not an ad for Milanote, but I just think it's a really useful space to help organize visual boards which contain images, notes, links, to-do lists, and loads more. Now, it's super useful for brainstorming, project planning, and creative collaboration. So if you are interested, you should definitely check it out. Otherwise, just use a pen and paper. That's also great. What will work best if you're a creator like myself is to align with companies that really do marry up with the same message. So if you're looking for sort of action or adventure style companies, and you're an action adventure creator, then that works. However, if you're freelancing on a brand that isn't related, then you really need to understand the brand's vision, their values, and their goals. You can research them online, check out their previous campaigns, and begin to craft a plan that aligns with their objectives. One key thing that I would like to add in here is that when I do this, I kind of think of concepts as opposed to just content. So if this could be more story driven, it will probably perform better in these social media algorithms. And when I say this, this first concept is what you see versus what my camera sees. Nothing crazy out of the box ideas, but just know that that is a concept as opposed to film a video with a 360 camera. You'll see what I mean when we create these videos. So idea number one is going to be a mounted shot showcasing a little bit of behind the scenes, followed by match cuts with different locations, different environments. So once you have these creative concepts mapped out, you've got these ideas, you have to further flesh out the concept. You write down the location, write down the time of day, the camera that you're going to be using, the settings that you want to use on the camera, whether you need any accessories to help create that content, and just put it all in a doc. If you're really well versed in this stuff, you can just, dot point it. But if you're brand new, I highly recommend thoroughly doing this, just so that you can execute. My concept for the second video is gonna do one of those slick car style videos. Do you know the ones you see on Instagram where they use a gimbal and everything just sort of fluidly goes whooshy, whooshy, whooshy? Let's try that with the Ronin SC. So that will be concept number 2. I don't really know how to use the Ronin SC. So I'm gonna have to learn. This video might take longer than expected. So video 1 is testing out a mounting based system. As you can tell, I've got this incredibly amazing structured mount. The rope work that's gone into this is phenomenal. Put this guy in a solo catch and cook and he probably wouldn't survive. I'm using the Insta360 X3 to capture this first video, and we're gonna test it out both at the back and the front of the bike. All right, so a really good habit, oh, that's a bit dark. Let's just pump you up a bit. There we go. A really good habit to get into whilst you're doing all of this stuff is to just check your footage. Now I just went for a test run just to see what the mounting was like. I'm gonna have a look at what that looks like on the Insta360 app on my phone so I can be sure that I'm actually nailing the shots. Also, you may be wondering what the battery life is like on the e-bike. So far, I have only charged this e-bike once and I gave it a full charge as soon as I set it up, and I probably have ridden it about close to 10 times at about 10 or 15 minutes per time. In my opinion, it's good. It's really good. And I'm only charging it now because it's on 2 bars and I want to keep shooting this video throughout the rest of the next day. So yeah, battery life, I so far have been very impressed with. But yeah, I think batteries on these kinds of things have to be used. I feel like if you charge the battery and you stop using it, you may run into problems. So keep up the use of the bike and you'll probably get much more longevity out of the battery. All right, so we've now come to the second location. and it is riddled with mosquitoes. I think the main focus point and the concept with this first reel is the notion of match cutting. So we want to have different locations, different environments that we can cut between. We have already shot the 360 shot on grass and on a road. I now wanted to change up the surface so that we can be shooting on something like this, sort of like a white sand gravel, just as a complete another texture to add to the shot. And then hopefully we can even find some sand somewhere. So bike does actually fold down. You can fold this piece down and that in half, but it's pretty heavy and I've got a whole tray here, so let's get this shot. Oh man, pretty bummed out. When we had the nice light, I must have set the exposure to like way too much and it's just blown out the whole shot. Not happy with that, so I guess I'm gonna have to wait till the sun comes out or bummer. Okay, location 3. All right, we're here for a little low light sunrise shot this morning by the beach. Hopefully this will be the finishing touch, exactly what we want. Let's get the bike out and ooh, a little bit of sun. That's the moody light that I wanted. The next part of this process is to make sure you nail your lighting conditions, nail your environment. Now this morning I wasn't sure whether I would get a nice low light sunrise, but that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to try and highlight the lights of the bike or even just the head torch within a scenario to completely showcase something different. Yeah, so make sure that when you do go through creating epic content for brands, you really try and nail the different lighting environments. Now, oftentimes that might not happen. You know, you might not get the right sunrise, but if you just pencil it in, go, all right, let's just go. Like this morning, it was supposed to rain and we actually got a really nice moody sunrise. So that is gonna make your content stand out. And the last tip in this whole process is to edit and deliver the content. This should be super easy to do because you should have already conceptualized everything. So making sure that as you go through your shoot and you get the different lighting environment scenarios, whatever, you're just ticking these off. So when it comes to edit, I tend to overshoot. I tend to hope that I've got maybe 4 or 5 different lighting environments and scenarios, knowing that I'll probably bag 3 and 3 will work and 3 will be, you know, the ones that make the cut. But just also important to, like, if you have the time, you can play around a little bit more, shoot a little bit more, and you should nail all of the concepts that you've ironed out in your planning phase. The last little tip that I want to leave you guys is in regards to the licensing and ownership of this said content. Now, oftentimes when we work with brands love to throw in a little clause in the contract which says they get a fully transferable right to exploit the content as much as possible. So as a content creator myself, I think it's super important that you make sure that you thoroughly read those contracts whenever you are creating this type of content for brands. And if the brand would like to use or license any of the content, that you let them know they can for a fee. Because at the end of the day, you've gone into all of this effort, everything that I've outlined in today's video to achieve these results for that said brand. So that's it from me. If you guys have enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you could punch the thumbs up button for the algorithm. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys in the next upload. Thanks for sharing the stoke. JR. Peace.